What's up? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some tips to help produce music faster. Being able to produce music fast is going to be one of the most important skills you can have no matter what level you're at. If you're an artist, being able to produce music fast means you can get more songs out and get more money from streaming. And it could be the difference between releasing a song once a month and releasing a song once every 3 months. If you are an online beat seller, it's the difference between putting a beat up once a day and once every week. And if you're a beginner, the best teacher is experience. How are you going to get that experience? If it's going to take 20 songs to get to the next level, how fast can you do that? And this last one is for everyone. Being able to produce fast means you get more at-bats to be able to create a great song. So here are 15 tips and tricks that help me produce music faster.
Number 15.
This first one I've talked about many times. I'm going to mention it in every single video because I really believe in it, and that's song templates. Pretty much every DAW is going to let you lay out unused instruments and ghost MIDI sections to help you get an idea for what a song should look like. And then you can just load up a template and you immediately get to build the structure of the song. Here's an example of a template I have. Nothing's loaded up in these instruments except for like blank patches, but they're all ready to go. I don't have to add any new instruments or anything. Number 14 is reference tracks. Find a song that you like the BPM and the general flow of the song. Find one of those and just drag it into your DAW. You can use it for all sorts of inspiration. One thing that I like to do is instrumentation. So what instruments the song is using and the general structure of the song. Building the song matching the same structure as your reference track. It's a really easy way to get like a structure of a song ready so you're not stuck on that. Number 13 is don't focus on your weaknesses. So think of it as like a business. If you're a business owner and you're not great with numbers, you could either try to learn accounting or you could hire an accountant. And one of these is going to be a lot quicker than the other. Here's some examples of weaknesses you could hire out. I don't have good drum sound. It takes me a long time to make melodies. I get stuck on music theory. You could use midis. Or number 4, I'm constantly looking up tutorials on how to make this type of bass sound and I can't seem to get it. You could buy a preset pack or buy some samples. Our number 12 is learn the shortcuts. I'm talking about keyboard shortcuts. If you want to produce music really fast, you got to ditch the mouse as often as possible. I did an internship with one of my college professors. He is a music producer in a more old-fashioned sense, like he runs a recording studio. My goodness, that guy is so quick. And it was all using the keyboard. In class one day, he shared his screen and he just showed how he was able to do everything in his DAW and not even touch his mouse. Learn the shortcuts. It is super helpful. Number 11 is to set time limits. There's this thing called Parkinson's Law, which is actually not a law, it's an adage, but I do believe it is very true. The amount of time that you give to a task will be the amount of time it takes to complete it, no matter how long the task like originally would take. If you can make a really quality beat in 30 minutes, set a timer for 30 minutes and don't go like a minute over that, and you'll be surprised how quickly you're able to work. Number 10, here's a great one. I'm so happy about this one. Label when you're stuck. This is a mindfulness thing. When you're stuck making a song, think about where the song needs to be and what currently is in the way. Really focus on the goal of the song, then say, okay, this is my goal. What is currently in the way from my song right now to getting there? And then you can kind of work yourself backward and unstick yourself. Always label the things you need to change. Kind of the summary of this is don't wander around. Always have a purpose and like a goal in mind of what you need to be fixing or working on. All right, number 9 is never do the same thing twice. This is making me like smile. I love talking about this stuff. If you make something that is great, like it is amazing, and you think to yourself, wow, I just want to sit here and listen to this over and over again. Make sure that the next time you want to make this sound, it is so easy. Turning it into a preset, turning it into a loop, turning it into a patch, a MIDI file, a one-shot. Do whatever you can and save it in a good folder so that the next time you want to make something using that thing, you don't have to make it twice. The time you spend making it a second time is going to be the time that's wasted. Here is an example of this. I made like a patch or something of like all of these different synths and pianos, and when I made it, I was like, oh, that is it. In Ableton, you can save the entire group. And so next time I want to make this sound, I can load that group back in, change the MIDI for it. And it's like it's a completely new thing. It's really quick, saves me a ton of time. All right, number 8. I call organized inspiration. Whenever you find a sound that gets you really inspired to make music, save it in a really easy to access folder. If you keep this up, you'll never be at a point when you're stuck because you can always go back to this folder and then you immediately have great ideas to work with. The same thing goes with songs. Make a playlist and add all the songs that you really love the production of, that really inspire you, that really blow your mind. Listen to that whenever you're stuck as well. Number 7, don't mess with knobs. Don't do it. Don't ever be in the position where you're like, well, I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll just tweak this a little and not really understanding the reason behind it. Take 10 minutes on Wikipedia to actually understand what all these different knobs do. This way you can achieve the sound you want quicker and you're not doing like a guess and check sort of thing. Here is a quick list for starters, and it is compressor, multiband compressor, distortion, audio equalizer, also known as EQ, sidechain, reverb, delay. Number 6 is keep the momentum. So whenever you're in that zone, you're inspired, whatever you're making is sounding great, watch out for the time sinks that can pop up, really distract you, take you off the rail. Have like placeholders, like a go-to sample pack, stuff that will be changed later. Once you get a sound that's 80% of the way there, move on to the next thing. If it actually does matter in the end, it will rear its head up. It'll be obvious when you're listening back. Soul State has a great video that's a quick summary of what deadmau5 and Steve Duda have to say about this. Steve Duda is the creator of Serum, if you didn't know that. Number 5 is keep it simple. Pay attention to when you're adding in a lot of background sounds. I say this because those are usually the things that can be cut from a song. Don't waste your time on things that can be cut. Don't add in that third pad that will eventually be muted because it doesn't fit with the song. If you feel like an inner urge to add more sounds to the song, take a step back and actually label what the song needs. Go back to that label step. You'll prevent yourself from wasting a ton of time on stuff that's going to be deleted anyway. Number 4 is curate your favorites. Create different drum racks of your favorite sounds. Have like different drum racks for different vibes, like a mellow drum rack and like a hip hop drum rack. Save these so they're like easily accessible. That way, next time you need your drums in, you can immediately do it all from the same drum rack, and you can end up changing it later, but this is to get the idea out as quick as possible. What it really does is it cuts out a lot of that time that's spent searching for your favorite sound. All that time you spend finding your samples could be saved if you just save them all together in one drum rack. This is actually a tip I learned from the Chainsmokers a while back in this interview by Future Music Magazine. Number 3 is having a clear vision. Try to imagine the song in your head before you start working. What is this song gonna progress like? What is the types of drums it's gonna use? And if you can make those decisions in your head, it's gonna be very easy to have like a straight path forward. I do this when I'm making the beats for my videos. I'll sometimes say on camera like, I wanna do this type of bass. It definitely saves a bunch of time from doing things that don't end up making the final cut. I would say it's really important to actually force yourself to say this out loud. That way you have to like crystallize what you're actually thinking in that moment. Number 2 is active listening. Spend time learning and listening to songs in your target genre, the genre you want to produce. This reduces time listening to and finding reference songs when you're in the studio, no matter where that is. When you're doing this, be aware of what you're uncertain about and listen to how other producers do that thing. If you struggle with drums, whenever you hear drums at a song, try to be able to place where all the drums are, what the different types of drums are, and just focus on that thing. Fill up your mental bank with observations. So that could be a number of things: arrangement, instrumentation, FX, automation, rhythms, even like where the music cuts out and where it comes back in. This way, the next time you're in the studio, you'll always have something in your back pocket. It could be in 2 weeks or it could be in 6 months when you remember that one reverb automation you heard in that one song and you go back to it and you're like, oh, okay, I know what to do here. Number 1 is find your weakest link. Something that I got a lot of benefit out of was doing a timed challenge, doing like a make a beat in 10 minutes sort of thing. It really shows you what you're not fast at. Writing melodies, doing drums, or literally sit down, set a timer for 10 minutes. While you're doing this, just observe what's taking you a long time. What's taking you 3 minutes to do that you should have done in like 30 seconds. And then really write down all of these observations and figure out ways to fix them. If it takes you a long time to set up drums, you could use a template or have drums already loaded up in your template. If it takes you a long time to find good samples, work on folder structure organization or making like a favorites folder of like really quick and easy stuff to pull from. And if you find yourself scrolling through presets in the same way, the same advice works for that. Make a favorites folder and you can cut out all that time of searching for the best presets. So that's my 15 tips and tricks on how to produce music faster. I hope it was really helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if I missed something or if you found this helpful. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, and freaking subscribe. Do it, baby. Almost at 400 subscribers. Let's go. So I released a song a couple weeks ago. That's going to be the first link in the bio if you want to check that out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.